Hi friends, hope you're doing well. I'm Dr. Milind. So finally we have some news about NEETPG 2022 counseling, and hopefully it will start soon. And all the students who have done a lot of hard work and faced a very good rank, I hope they'll get all their dreams and they'll start the residency soon. Also the students who did not get a good rank and who are not happy with their rank, not to be disheartened. We have another chance and we have NICT coming, and hopefully as this counseling is happening, so next exam will also happen very soon. So don't be disheartened. And I feel really sad and sorry for all the students who are preparing, because there is no date about next PG entrance exam, and I can understand what all you all have to go through. But I would just say, if you have decided that you are going to take a chance, if you are going to write it one more time because you are still not done it, so I'm with you, and let's try to fight it. And I have so today I'm coming with few tips about MCQs, because I'm getting a lot of questions about, a lot of students are preparing well and they are into that rhythm, but there are still some doubts on the back of their mind which are troubling them. So today I'm going to address that about MCQs and PYQs. So a lot has been said about theory, like you should read theory, you should read MCQs, you should read PYQs, but what exactly? There's an ocean of question banks and there is everything available there. So how should we our approach? So just in this brief video, I'll talk about how should we combine MCQs and previously asked question with theory. So I'm going to tell something for the students who wants to prepare for that. So first of all, whenever you are preparing for exam, so let's say that you want to solve MCQs and PYQs. So first, as I said, that your theory should be strong. But how should what happens like during an exam? When I wrote my exam, when I used to attend my exam, I'll come back home, and when I'll check from the notes, and I used to it used to surprise me that this question came from my notes, like it's written clearly in my notes. How did I do it wrong? I mean, I know it is there in my exam in my notes, and I have read it so many times. How I did it wrong, and it used to frustrate me a lot. Then I found realized that I'm not able to recall these important areas. A lot of students talk about important topics, important areas, but how to know which are the important lines, even those important topics, and how the questions will be framed. So I'm going to give you one tip for that. So I'll say start your day with few MCQs from the topic that you're going to read. For example, if you have decided that you are going to read cardiovascular system for physiology, so instead of reading theory is boring because you're going to read this theory for like 3-4 hours after you start your day. So I'll say instead of just starting your theory, just go through the kind of MCQs that have been asked. First, you can go for last 3-4 years questions. You can just go through the questions. You don't have to. You can just try to answer them, or just go through what type of questions they have asked, and you can also try to answer them and just see the answer. You don't have to read the explanation then and there only. So once you start reading the theory, you remember those questions which you have solved, and that will help you that what is the current status and what questions are they're asking, what kind of questions they're asking in a recent exam. So that is what important. And what happens when you go through the theory, you stress upon that line. Okay, the question came from this part, and this is how the question. If there was a clinical question, you'll understand. Okay, this is how the question was framed, and this is very important to understand because no matter how much theory you read, if you don't stress upon the important points, you'll do a lot of silly mistakes in exam because you knew it, you have read it, but still you did the mistake. So that is why just go through the questions and know what are the important lines even from the important areas. So if you stress upon them, it will help you. So that you can do, just like you can assign 10-15 minutes before starting your theory that I'm going to go through the questions and then I'll start theory. So when you read theory, you automatically stress upon those points, and when you again solve MCQs during your assigned point, now you remember that okay, I stress upon this area and I know this is in my notes. So I think this will definitely help you. Second, what I have noticed, I have analyzed a lot of exams in last 1 year, and what I have seen that examiner nowadays, putting a lot of efforts in making a question paper. What is to happen back, like 5 8 years back, that you used to have a question paper which had a lot of repeated questions. Like if you go back and take the books, you'll see a lot of questions have been repeated. But now question, they are making just 200 questions, so they are putting a lot of efforts making the question. You'll also have to be a smart. I always say that examiner will always be a step ahead of you. No matter how much you prepare, how much classes will teach you, but examiner will always be one step ahead of you. The reason why I'm telling you this, that you have to prepare exam in a two way. There are two kind of questions that are nowadays asked. One are fact-based question and second are clinical scenarios. So the fact-based questions are actually being repeated a lot, and like they are repeated as it is, like there is no change. For example, there is, which metabolite of cyclophosphamide is toxic. So, it is like a fact-based question. If you know it, you know it. There is no logic. So such kind of questions I have seen repeatedly asked. So you have to know this fact-based question from the last at least 5 to 8 years. Second group of questions is clinical and image-based questions, which appear new. So what happens if you have solved similar clinical question, but what are they doing now? Instead of repeating the same question, they are adding some twist to it. They will remove some important information and put new information in that. So you feel like you have seen this question before and you tend to mark a wrong answer. So you should be very careful while reading it, because as I said, that examiner is putting a lot of efforts and they are formulating a good clinical question. They're adding images to it. They're adding new, like nuclear imaging and histopathological slides they're adding to it. So that is what a clinical question is nowadays made up of. And for that, you should have a good command on theory. Now a student asks me, sir, if I have to choose between MCQs and theory, what should I choose? A lot of students say, sir, if I only do the, only the revision videos or revision topics, and if I solve lots and lots of MCQs, will it help? See, if you solve like 30 MCQs, you can do those 30 MCQs right again in the exam if they are asked, or in any grant test that you are doing. But if you do a topic in the same time, you will be able to do 100 questions that will be formulated in a different way from that topic. So topic gives you a broad way, and it opens the gateway for answer for nearly 100 to 150 questions that can be, formed from that topic. But if you do only like, 30 questions or 50 questions, you will only know the question if they are asked in the similar way. So the theory will always form the baseline, and you should always have your command on theory. So do last 5 to 8 years PYQs to have a command on a fact-based questions, and do your notes well, because you should know how clinical questions are formed. Now a lot of students ask me about number of questions, how many, like 50, 100, 200, 300, 500, how many questions to solve daily. The number of questions do not matter. Assign a time like 1.5 hours I'm going to assign for MCQs. Do as many MCQs you can do. Read explanations in depth. A lot of students say, sir, reading explanation is necessary. Yes, because now this will, help you develop your critical thinking, especially for the clinical MCQs, that it will develop, okay, why is the answer is so it helps you giving this critical thinking. So read explanation in depth. Don't just know the question and answer, because again, the examiners are one step ahead. They are changing the language of the question. They are changing the important points. So read the explanation in depth. Lastly, consistency is the key. A lot of students who did not get a good rank, or were not happy with their efforts, when I was talking to them, it's not like I only talk to the people who topped the exam. I have also talked to the students who did not get good rank as per the expectation, and I'm still in touch with them. And I realize one part, what they have confessed to me is something that they lack is consistency. There are a lot of distraction. There are, this world is full of distractions. So you have to focus. And I will say it again and again, don't worry about the exam rate. Exam will be there, it will be same for everyone. It's not like some half of the people will write next and half of the people will write NEETPG. It will be the same for everyone. I have given a lot of topics. I have given a lot of strategies there. I'll be coming up with a lot of strategies and new videos, but stay consistent and stay focused. Sit there and keep studying. The only person that is going to help you is you. So guys, I hope this video helps you, and I wish you all the best and take care.